Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us at the inaugural Yale-NUS College graduation ceremony. The ceremony will begin soon. A gentle reminder before the start of the ceremony. Please switch your mobile phones and other electronic devices to the silent mode if you have not already done so. In the meantime, please let us share with you more about Yale-NUS.
Yale-NUS College, a vibrant community of learning, inspiring a new generation of thinkers. We are an exciting diversity of people who reach across boundaries to learn from the best of Asia and the world. Yale-NUS College, founded by two great universities, Yale University and the National University of Singapore, draws on the strengths and histories of its parent institutions.
Well, it's actually quite
Our curriculum challenges our students to explore and embark on their own learning journeys, to discover their passions,
Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Today,
and to realize their dreams.
There are things that can sting you and bite you.
We are creating a culture of creativity, curiosity, and big thinking. One that will inspire each Yale-NUS graduate to make a difference in his or her world. We are a place for the meeting of minds, where colleagues, classmates, and friends learn together and teach one another. Not just in the classroom, but over conversations in the sky gardens during the heat of day, or during late-night excursions to the butteries in the cool of night. All made livelier with a global community of thinkers who call Yale-NUS their home away from home. Knowledge curated on the college grounds is then put to test in the real world. Each Yale-NUS student returns home with broader perspectives and widened horizons. We are more than an institution of learning. We are inspired to think big and to make a difference. We are encouraged to question, to seek bold solutions for a better tomorrow. We are a community of learning, founded by two great universities, in Asia for the world.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise to welcome the class of 2017 and the ceremonial procession. Please remain standing until the national anthem is sung.
declare open the Yale-NUS College Graduation Ceremony 2017.
Please be seated.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the graduation of the inaugural class of Yale-NUS College. I am the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Koo Hoon Eng, and I'm pleased to be your MC for this afternoon's ceremony. I would now like to invite Professor Pericles Lewis, founding president of Yale-NUS College, to deliver the opening address. Professor Lewis, please.
Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam, NUS Chancellor and President of the Republic of Singapore, Mr. Ong Ye Kung, Minister for Education, Higher Education and Skills, and Second Minister for Defense, NUS Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Poad Matar, chairpersons and members of the NUS Board of Trustees, Yale Corporation, Yale-NUS Governing Board, graduates, parents, and friends. Good afternoon. I want to begin by welcoming all the parents and relatives and friends of our graduates to this celebratory occasion. And to you parents especially, I want to say that I can imagine the pride and pleasure that you're experiencing and the many memories that such an occasion conjures up. And I enjoyed having a chance to speak with some of you about those yesterday. And I also know that what you'd like to do right now is to join those of us on the stage in offering warm congratulations to the Yale-NUS class of 2017. And now I would like to ask the class of 2017 in turn to reflect for one moment on how you came to reach this milestone. During that moment of reflection, one of the things that may have occurred to you is that there are many people here today, your parents, siblings, relatives, and friends, whose support and encouragement made your achievements here possible. I bet you'd like to rise and show them your appreciation. I vividly remember the freshman assembly of the 4th of July, 2013, and the excitement of witnessing the first day of a new college after 4 years of planning. On that occasion, I quoted Walt Whitman's poem, A Passage to India. Sail forth, steer for the deep waters only, reckless, O soul, exploring, I with thee and thou with me, for we are bound where mariner has not yet dared to go, and we will risk the ship, ourselves, and all. We did indeed all take a risk together when we started out on this journey. Now, nearly 4 years later, most of the class of 2017 is graduating. Some will graduate next year. And some of you will have noticed over the past 4 years that I've often compared our involvement in Yale-NUS College to a sea voyage. I've been trying to think of the right nautical metaphor for the current stage of our travels together. So you could say that that we have steered the ship of Yale-NUS College safely into harbor, but in fact, the ship is fully afloat and headed out on a journey whose final destination none of us can entirely foresee. In a sense, we're like those visitors who spend some time on board the ship just before it heads out on an oceanic voyage, and we will now row our 120 little boats back to shore before setting out on other journeys of our own to new destinations, while Yale-NUS will sail onwards. But this underestimates the fact that we all remain part of the broader Yale-NUS community. So this conundrum led me to think of the statesman and philosopher Edmund Burke's metaphor for society. Burke wrote that to be attached to the subdivision, to love the little platoon we belong to in society, is the first principle, the germ, as it were, of public affections. It is the first link in the series by which we proceed towards a love to our country and to mankind. And I think something similar applies to our love for our college. So to offer a naval version of this image, the class of 2017 is like a flotilla of small boats, canoes, kayaks, skiffs, dinghies, perhaps the occasional jet ski or windsurfer. And while we continue on our journeys separately, we will maintain our links to the mothership that is the college. Yesterday at class day, I shared with the graduates some of my memories of these past 4 years, and today I would like to reflect on what we've accomplished together during this time. You and your family should be very proud of the individual accomplishments of the members of the class of 2017. You've conducted original research, won fellowships, scholarships, and prizes, found jobs that will give you a good start in life after college. Many of you have studied abroad. You've learned languages, techniques, ideas, and methods from a range of disciplines. But I'm most proud of what you've done collectively. You've shaped a community. I think we all remember the sense of collective effervescence in the early days of the college when we were creating not only the college itself, but all the clubs and groups, teams and publications, and little societies that make up the broader society of Yale-NUS. Now, the distinctive thing about any lasting community is that even though it can often be traced to a founding moment, it endures beyond the departure of its founders. Burke also wrote of society that it is a partnership not only between those who are living, but between those who are living, those who are dead, and those who are to be born. In a less grand way, we could say that the college is a partnership between those who are currently studying here, those who have graduated, and those who have yet to matriculate. And although you are graduating, you will remain broadly part of the Yale-NUS community, and we will all gather again at reunions and more informal events. The college will grow and change without us. We will take some part of Yale-NUS with us, but when we return, we will find it changed, and that is the nature of a community. It evolves as its members grow, change, and depart, and as new members join. Fortunately, this community also remains alive as a source of strength for all of us in the future. Another poem I've often quoted to you is Tennyson's Ulysses, about an aging group of warriors who want to set out to sea one more time. As Tennyson writes, "All experience is an arch wherethrough gleams that untraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when we move." You are still young, but you're entering a new stage of life, and I hope that you will take your experiences at Yale-NUS with you wherever you go. Mr. Chancellor, in a few moments, I will ask you to admit the graduates here assembled to all the rights and responsibilities of the degrees that they have earned. To the graduating class, I would like to explain that we emphasize the rights and responsibilities in a tradition that that comes to us from one of our parent institutions, Yale University. Other colleges tend to refer to the rights and privileges of the degree. We refer instead to responsibilities. When we were preparing the curriculum for Yale-NUS, we asked, what must a young person learn in order to lead a responsible life in this century? We believe that when you graduate, you remain a member of the Yale-NUS community. As such, and as a graduate, you will have certain rights, especially recognition of your academic achievement by employers and graduate programs. But at least as important, you will have responsibilities. We've all been privileged to be the beneficiaries of the generous support of the government of Singapore and of parents, families, and benefactors. And although we've had to work together to build this community, we've also reaped at least as much as we've sown. I've spoken since our first days together about the ethos of service that we have sought to inculcate in our students, and I'm proud to see how important a part service has played in your student organizations and your life plans. You have long and eventful lives ahead of you. I do not know what causes and communities you will serve, but I hope that you will associate your days at Yale-NUS College with the responsibility to be of service, and that you will bring the distinctive ethos of our community along with you as you join new communities and take on new responsibilities in your future life. For now, congratulations on your accomplishments to date, and I hope you will always feel that you have a safe harbor here at Yale-NUS College. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Minister of Education for Higher Education and Skills, Mr. Ong Ye Kang, to deliver his speech. Minister Ong, please.
Chancellor, National University of Singapore and President, Republic of Singapore, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam, Chairman, National University of Singapore, Mr. Xie Fu Hua, Mr. Boat, Pro-Chancellor of NUS, Chairman of Yale-NUS College, Madam Kay Kwok, President, NUS, Professor Tan Cho Chuan, President Emeritus, Yale University, Professor Richard Levin, President, Yale-NUS College, Professor Pericles Lewis, parents, graduates, good afternoon. It brings me great pleasure to witness today the graduation of Yale-NUS's inaugural cohort. You are making history. Congratulations to all of you. Now, Yale-NUS has come a long way. The idea was hatched at the 7th International Academic Advisory Panel meeting back in 2008, under the chairmanship of then Deputy Prime Minister and the current President of the Republic of Singapore, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam. Since then, every Minister for Education thereafter worked towards the realization of Yale-NUS, which was to be a little gem, a new little gem in our system, and a strategic addition to our university landscape. It would be the first liberal arts college in Singapore, an institute driven by the love of learning and curiosity about the world around us, a center championing the competency of critical thinking in an increasingly unpredictable and rapidly changing world. Today, Yale-NUS is indeed a gem. Its beautiful campus houses a vibrant community of learning, and its innovative education model is studied internationally. Yale-NUS students turn down top international universities to come here. And I believe many or most of the graduates who sit amongst us today would agree that this has been a memorable and fruitful 4 years of your life. For most projects, the start is always the hardest. So for the college's success, we must thank the founding principal, Professor Pericles Lewis, for his dedicated labor of love for the past 5 years. Pericles' contributions precede his tenure as president. In the early days, he helped to plan the distinctive common curriculum and hire the first faculty. The intensity of this work strengthened the partnership between NUS and Yale, laying down a firm foundation for the young college. Pericles also emphasized the importance of service, as he mentioned earlier, and aimed to develop Yale-NUS college students into responsible thinkers and leaders. It must be difficult to live where you work, and I was told he gets mobbed all the time in campus. Is that true? But Pericles did just that. He was a grounded president, a familiar, well-loved, and well-respected figure on campus. He found time to teach a few courses even. This speaks of the depth of his professional and personal commitment to the success of the institution. Please join me once again to thank Professor Pericles Lewis. I'm glad that you will continue to look after Yale-NUS affairs in your new capacity at Yale. I wish you all the best and look forward to an even stronger partnership between Yale and NUS in the years ahead. I would also like to welcome the new president, Professor Tan Tai Yong. Looks like Tai Yong get mobbed too in campus. He comes from a long career of academic achievement, institutional leadership, and public service. He will bring his rich and varied experience to bear when he takes over the reins at Yale-NUS. Right, Pericles, Tai Yong is one of the college's own. He was here from the college's inception as Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and worked alongside the founding president to build the team Yale-NUS has today. He is also a well-liked tutor at the college. I look forward to his contribution in the coming years as he brings the college to greater heights. Now let me address the stars of today, the graduating class of 2017. University is a special time, and looking back, I'm sure you will recall many formative experiences. And the pioneer class always has the best stories to tell. So in preparing for this speech, I asked the college for these stories. So I heard how Hua, Isa, Laureen, and Willie sign up for mysterious internships. And they found themselves working in Cambodia, New Jersey, Laos, and Chiang Mai, respectively. How adventurous of you. I also heard the story of how Marcus, Key, Anshuman, and Daniel went on an epic 10-week cycling trip from Singapore to Hanoi to investigate the ethnographic significance of bicycle in Southeast Asia. You can learn that in Singapore, you know. I heard of cooking clubs, impromptu desk chair chariot races in the early days at RC4, and the special energy of a new institution in startup stage. But much more than that. Your experience at Yale-NUS has been made special by all the eureka moments, special bonds and relationships, late-night conversations in the Sky Gardens, love gained, love lost, friends made, and a friend lost. What you take away from this experience goes beyond your certificate. It also includes the stories and encounters etched in your memories forever, and friendships you have forged in Singapore, and also all corners of the world. And I hope you will continue to support and enrich one another's lives as you progress through life. Another thing you will take with you is the unique education you have received. Liberal arts occupies a special place within Singapore's higher education landscape. All our universities expose their students to different subjects, and they promote interdisciplinary learning. But liberal arts is the purest form of multidisciplinary education. We all know the saying about not giving a man fish, but teaching him how to fish. And in that sense, liberal arts education is the ultimate fishing rod. For certain students, such an education is a window to the world. It opens up their curiosity and drives their motivation to learn a lifetime. But a word of caution, like most things in life and good things in life, it is valuable to some students, but not for everyone. Within our higher education landscape, we need to maintain a plurality of options to suit different interests, aptitudes, styles of learning, and this creates a diversity of talent in our collective future. Yale-NUS is no ordinary liberal arts college, but one cited in Asia. Its unique position is articulated in your core mission, a community of learning founded by two great institutions in Asia, for the world. If Yale-NUS is an exact replica of Yale in New Haven, you would not have made the most of your place here in Asia and in Singapore, and a partnership with one of Asia's top universities. This is reflected in your curriculum and pedagogy. If you look through the common curriculum book list, it combines the best of Western and Asian intellectual traditions. You study the Ramayana and books of songs with Euripides and Plato, Eileen Chang and Sonny Liu, together with Woolf, Balzac, and Shakespeare. In the same vein, beyond the traditional liberal arts values of curiosity and critical thinking, you are exposed to Asian values, which have existed in this part of the world for centuries and even millennia, such as the Gotong Royong community spirit, or in Chinese, 饮水思源, which means to remember the water source when you drink and repay kindness received. These are actually not just Asian values, but many are universal values. The experience in the liberal arts college in Asia is not complete without immersing yourself in the local Singaporean community. And I'm glad the college and the students have made a great effort to do so. Students here are drawn from all strata of society. A Singaporean student who meets the stringent criteria to enter the college and will benefit from the education offered here will be able to access significant financial assistance and scholarships to make the education experience possible. This is a commitment that the college will continue to uphold. You have also played a valuable part in building our community. The Migrant Workers Awareness Week, co-organized with the NUS Faculty of Law, is running for the second year now. A group of you have also been mentoring students at the Pathlight School. So while being in Yale-NUS is a great privilege, I'm glad to see that through your deeds, you are already starting to give back to the community. Remember the Yale-NUS ethic of service and the college's exhortation to utilize your skills for the betterment of society. All our graduates today have a good, meaningful life ahead of you. It is now up to you to make it worthwhile. Some students are off to a good start. Wan Ping will be pursuing the concurrent degree program with the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies. Congratulations. Well, she has long been involved in this field, from what I was told. Founded the Yale-NUS Sustainability Movement, majored in environmental studies, and wrote her capstone on the certification of sustainable palm oil. Hamid is a writer and theater enthusiast, and is well known on our local creative writing circuit. He has taken up the National Arts Council scholarship and will work in the sector after graduation. Congratulations, Hamid. From her freshman year, Erica has participated in internships to familiarize herself with the intriguing world of finance. Finance is indeed quite intriguing. She did so well at her last stint at Credit Suisse in Hong Kong that she was given a return offer as a global markets analyst here in Singapore. Congratulations to Erica. The examples are many. I have named just 3. But as the inaugural cohort, the college's culture bears your imprint. Your graduation marks the coming of age of the college, as it does the turning of a chapter in your lives. Keep your sense of adventure, your fearlessness, and perhaps even some of that youthful foolishness. Live life passionately and be ready to make a difference. Leave that distinct Yale-NUS mark wherever you might venture. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Ong. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to introduce our graduation speaker, Professor Richard C. Levin. Professor Levin is the Chief Executive of Coursera and President Emeritus of Yale University. Prior to taking on leadership at Coursera, Professor Levin was president at Yale for 20 years, and he continues to contribute actively to higher education. He played an instrumental role in the establishment of Yale-NUS College during his tenure as president of Yale University, and he is still an active member of the governing board of our college. We are very honored today that he will now address the graduating class. Professor Levin, please.
Members of the inaugural Yale-NUS College Class of 2017, congratulations. We celebrate your achievements. You have completed a course of study of uncommon rigor, and you have fulfilled the potential we saw in you when you took the enormous risk of applying to a brand new and unproven institution 4 years ago. As pioneers, your achievements extended far beyond the classroom. Through your own initiative, you have created and shaped the culture of this place, leaving a legacy for classes that follow. You will always be remembered, not merely as the first graduates, but as co-architects of this great college. I want to offer special congratulations to the parents who are here today. You also took a big risk in sending your brilliant and accomplished children to this entirely new enterprise when they had many other safer college choices. We thank you for your courage, and we hope that your confidence in this college has been amply rewarded. For me, this occasion is deeply meaningful. 8 years ago, in Davos, the imaginative and incomparable president of NUS, Tan Chor-Chuan, approached Linda Lorimer and me with the proposition that we join forces in the creation of a model liberal arts college for the 21st century. As representatives of Yale, whose graduates founded a substantial fraction of the liberal arts colleges in America in the 19th century, we saw this as a rare and extraordinary opportunity, a chance for Yale to join forces with the finest university in Asia to create an institution that could enrich the world. You know it, a community of learning founded by two great universities in Asia for the world. Okay. All those words have meaning. Many faces familiar to you took part in 4 years of detailed planning between that first meeting and your matriculation. Yale Vice President Linda Lorimer and NUS Professor Lily Kong, now Provost of Singapore Management University, led the effort. President Pericles Lewis, President-elect Tan Tai-Young, as well as Professors Balin, Bishop, Kong, Koo, and Patke, were active in framing the curriculum and then hiring the initial cohort of faculty a full year ahead of admitting you to the college. During a final planning year in New Haven, the inaugural faculty worked out the details of your unique curriculum, which they and the other scholars who joined later have so effectively implemented. I want to underscore my thanks to you, the faculty. You too are pioneers. You have not only developed with Herculean effort an important and distinctive curriculum for this college, you've also blazed a trail that we hope will be followed by countless institutions around the globe. By keeping faith with what you have built and maintaining the distinctive nature of the common curriculum, you will influence the course of liberal arts education throughout the world, and you will determine the long-term success of this college. You, the members of the inaugural class, gave life to what was for the first 4 years merely an inspiring idea. An inspiring idea, a community of scholars from around the world brought together in this island nation that links East Asia with India, Africa, and Europe to study and learn what it means to be a citizen in the 21st century. You came from Australia, Canada, China, Colombia, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Malaysia, the Philippines, Russia, Spain, Sweden, the United Kingdom, the United States, Vietnam, and Singapore. You were the first to experience and to help evolve a common curriculum uniquely designed to compare and contrast the distinctive philosophical and literary traditions of Asian and Western civilizations, as well as their social institutions. Your common curriculum gave you the same classic benefits reaped by generations of students in programs such as Yale's Directed Studies, Chicago's Core Curriculum, Columbia's Contemporary Civilization, and St. John's Great Books curriculum. You learned to read closely, to formulate arguments, to defend them, and to refine them in response to better arguments. In short, you have become educated persons in the manner articulated so clearly in the 19th century by Cardinal Newman. You are independent thinkers. You have learned, in Newman's words, to see things as they are, to go right to the point, to disentangle a skein of thought, to detect what is sophistical, and to discard what is irrelevant. Your education, as Newman continues, prepares you to fill any post with credit and to master any subject with facility. And you've learned something more. You've been pioneers in extending the great conversation of Western civilization, studied so thoroughly in the excellent programs at Yale, Chicago, Columbia, and St. John's, to a conversation among cultures with different origins, different histories, and different perspectives on human experience. Your immersion in the ideas and institutions of both Asia and the West has prepared you to negotiate a world of diverse cultures. Linking the old idea of a common curriculum with the new imperative of cross-cultural understanding was at the center of our founding vision. It was inspired by a particular view of what the 21st century seemed to hold in store. A world that, despite the diversity of its peoples, was bound together by instantaneous communication and an ever-increasing freedom of movement of goods, services, ideas, and people. In such a world, a deep understanding of the value of different perspectives, mutual respect, and the ability to communicate cross-culturally seemed to us the indispensable tools of an educated person. That vision of a world inextricably bound together, interdependent, and on a path to peaceful and prosperous coexistence is under threat today. Even as macroeconomic indicators began to signal recovery from the financial crisis of 2008, they could not conceal the strains that 3 decades of technology-led growth and trade liberalization had induced. The same technological innovations that brought us closer together created disparities in income and wealth to a degree not seen in over a century. And these disparities triggered populist and anti-globalist reaction around the world. The reversal of liberalization in Russia and Turkey, increasing nationalism in China and India, the decision of the United Kingdom to leave the European Union, and the election of Donald Trump in the United States. Even in countries where the majority has rejected populism and xenophobia, such as the Netherlands, France, and Germany, anti-globalist sentiment is much stronger than a decade ago. Chillingly, the new anti-globalist populism calls to mind the authoritarian nationalism that arose in Europe nearly a century ago in the years between the world wars. In Italy and Germany, fascism found its initial support among the economically disadvantaged and dispossessed. And to unite those elements with a broader middle class, the blame for national distress was externalized. Hitler blamed the Jews. Trump and the European populists seek to banish Muslims, or at least bar their further immigration. If you need to be convinced of the similarities in both doctrine and methods between contemporary populist nationalism and European totalitarianism of the 1930s, I would suggest that you read On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century by the distinguished Yale historian Timothy Snyder. It's available online. Very inexpensive. 4 years at Yale-NUS College have taught you that the claims of the new anti-globalist populism need to be subjected to critical scrutiny, just as the claims of the globalist free trade ideology must also be. As citizens of the 21st century, you need to take this responsibility seriously. The stakes are too high. Disengagement is not an option for those, like you, who have benefited from the privilege of a superior education. My own parsing of these issues is relatively straightforward. First, the opening of borders to the movement of goods, services, ideas, and people is not the principal source of widening disparities in income and wealth. Technology is primarily responsible. And if we wish to mitigate the adverse effects of technology on the distribution of income and wealth, increased educational opportunity and redistributive tax and transfer policies are the answer, not closing borders. Second, the scapegoating of a particular religion or race or ethnicity is a path that can lead only to tragedy. Your education was conceived on the premise that humanity is one interconnected whole, and that its rich and welcome diversity must be studied and appreciated to enable you to contribute meaningfully to its progress. Women and men of the Yale-NUS College class of 2017, you are pioneers, and your role in shaping this exceptional institution will never be forgotten. As you move on, I hope that you will remain pioneers, open to exploring new directions and willing to forge distinctive careers that are right for each of you. You enter a world in which the premises on which Yale-NUS College was founded are under attack. You cannot hide from this reality. But I would urge you to stand up for openness and toleration. Be leaders. Teach the world that if we are to survive and prosper on this small, interconnected, and ecologically fragile planet, we must transcend the issues that divide us and assert our common humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Levin. May I invite President Pericles Lewis to now present the Yale-NUS College Class of 2017 to the President of the Republic of Singapore and National University of Singapore Chancellor, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam. Professor Lewis, please.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present the graduates on whom the Bachelor of Arts with Honors will be conferred. Mr. Chancellor, may I present the graduates on whom the Bachelor of Arts with Honors will be conferred. With this, I ask you to admit them to all the rights and responsibilities thereof. Majoring in Anthropology. Recipient of the Bernard Bate Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Anthropology, Chen Yi-Jie Ronald. Outstanding Capstone Project in Anthropology, Graham John Link. Ami Firdaus bin Muhammad Ali. Ko Long Chen Marcus. Ko Wei Jie. Margaret Fennerty Schumann. Natasha Annette Wu. Weien Te Tu Lin. So Wee Yang. Majoring in Arts and Humanities. Recipient of the Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Arts and Humanities, Abdul Hamid bin Roslan. Recipient of the Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Arts and Humanities, Tan Min Natalie. Alethea Lo Lei Ting. Ang Ja-eun Janelle. Chan Kong Yao Bryant. Cho Bao Yun. Chia Jun Wang David. Javon Chandra. Mariel Amaris Chi Wei Lin. Ng Shuyue Denise Kristen. Kwek Lee Ray Kazaya. Shanice Nicole Stanislaus. Tara Deer. Yap Zhiwen. Majoring in Economics. Recipient of the Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Economics, Charmaine Chia Wenyi. Chia Tek-yuk. Erica Terrones Shibuya. Herban Ko Poitek. Manas Punani. Spandana Bhattacharya. My list is off here, but Sanjana Tadipali. Are you out of order, or is it? Sorry, go ahead. I think so. Oh, what's your major, Sanjana? Oh, okay, apologies. Majoring in environmental studies. Recipient of the prize for outstanding capstone project in environmental studies, Sanjana Tadipali. Sorry about that, Sanjana. I got a little confused by my list here. Recipient of the prize for outstanding capstone project in environmental studies, Xie Hao. Anne Caroline Key Franklin. Chua Wan Ping. Ho Li Ying Christina. Yolanda Nava. Kuzile Willie. Maria Ivanenko. Matthew Ryan Bolden. Cheryl Fu Hui Min. Tae Mei. To Wiran. Zachary Lawrence Mahon. Majoring in Global Affairs. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Global Affairs, Maria Camila Posse. Chiharu Imamura. Jocelyn Gabrielle Kagawan Lim. Jonathan James Ho. Lee Shanyi Andrea Noel. Molly Inga Magdalena Saltskog. Ong Hui Se Rachel. Majoring in History. Recipient of the Outstanding Capstone Project in History, Ling Si Min. Ivania Cristianti Handoyo. Hong Cheng Yi Regina. Joyanne Tan Je Yuen. Karen Ho Wen Yi. Ko Hui Min Michelle. Melody Madhavan. Lee Tse-Ye Amanda.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce the faculty speaker, Assistant Professor of Social Sciences, Anju Mary Paul. So, as you can tell, Dr. Paul was nominated by the class of 2017 to speak on behalf of all of us, Yale-NUS faculty. She is one of the college's inaugural faculty members, and together with her family, Dr. Paul has been a part of our residential community for the past 4 years and is a familiar face on campus to all our students. Dr. Paul, please.
Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam, NUS Chancellor and President of the Republic of Singapore, Mr. Ong Ye Kung, Minister for Education, Higher Education and Skills, and Second Minister for Defense, NUS Pro-Chancellor Mr. Poad Mathur, chairpersons and members of the NUS Board of Trustees, Yale Corporation, and Yale-NUS Governing Board, distinguished guests, fellow Yale-NUS colleagues, parents and relatives of our students, and dear, dear class of 2017. What a terrible time to graduate. The planet is heating up, the economy is slowing down, there is rising demagoguery and xenophobia everywhere, and the balance of world power is shifting. And to top it all off, robots apparently will be taking over most of our jobs. Wouldn't it be wonderful to stay another year or 4 at Yale-NUS? Taking classes, writing papers, and perhaps even going for office hours. What a critical time to graduate. What a critical time to be a Yale-NUS graduate. These are the challenges that we educated you for. This is why we taught you to read Rousseau, but also to write in R. Why we taught you the poetics of the Odyssey and the Ramayana, and introduced you to the competing philosophies of Milton Friedman and Karl Marx. We showed you the mysteries of the human genome and distant galaxies, even as we asked you to ponder the social construction of reality and break a few social norms along the way. What we didn't teach you, but what you somehow managed to teach yourselves, were other lessons just as important. How to measure a person's worth using metrics that have nothing to do with where they were born, the accent they speak with, the color of their skin, or their gender. To recognize that the loudest voices in the room are rarely the ones to listen to. To question the hype, especially about yourselves. To dream a better world, and then work together to make it a reality from the ground up and not the top down. Consider what you've accomplished over the last 4 years. When you first applied to Yale-NUS, we were little more than an idea. That was how we were talked about. The Yale-NUS experiment, an experiment in liberal arts education in Asia. 4 years later, as you graduate, it is the Yale-NUS experience that people increasingly mention. There is a nimbleness of mind, an openness to alternative voices, a willingness to take risks, and a self-reflexiveness that acknowledges mistakes and learns from them that you, all of you, have been consciously and unconsciously practicing over the last 4 years until, without realizing it, it has become second nature to all of you. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Rabindranath Tagore was describing his dream of a free India when he composed this poem in 1900, but he could have been writing about what you have helped build at Yale-NUS. And yet, your work is not done. To paraphrase J.R.R. Tolkien, and I thought it was only appropriate since our first Dean of Faculty, Charles Bailyn, is here, and Tolkien was one of his favorite authors. To paraphrase Tolkien, the road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and you must follow if you can. As you set off down this road, as you join other organizations to work, to serve, to learn, to lead, I ask that you bring with you the lessons and character, the knowledge and new perspectives that you learned here. The world needs you. It needs your art, it needs your ideas, it needs your research, your energy. Most importantly, it needs your hope. We are in Asia for the world, but we only fulfill this mission if you leave. It's true. If you leave, taking the lessons of the past 4 years with you. If you take the Yale-NUS way to the new communities you join, the new companies you launch, and the new countries you move to. This will not be easy. It is not a safe or stable world that you are inheriting. But surely you didn't join Yale-NUS because you thought we were the easy or the safe choice. Still, it is very hard to let you go. I feel the same mixture of pride and trepidation that your parents are surely feeling. But your road goes ever on and on. I will not make false promises of future glory waiting for you at the end of your road. All I can guarantee is that you will encounter trials, failure, frustration, and heartache. But you will also experience the joys of honest hard work, an abiding fellowship with the friends that you have made here, and hopefully, each day, the satisfaction that comes from bringing some good into this world. As we send you off down this road, I leave you with this traditional Scottish benediction. May the blessing of light be upon you, light without and light within, so that stranger and friend may come and warm themselves by it. May the blessing of the rain be on you. May it beat upon your spirit and wash it clean. May the blessing of the earth be upon you, soft under you as you lie on it, tired at the end of each day. Bless you kindly. Thank you, and once again, congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. May I now invite President Pericles Lewis again to present the rest of the Yale-NUS College Class of 2017 to the President of the Republic of Singapore and National University of Singapore Chancellor, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present the graduates on whom the Bachelor of Arts with Honours will be conferred. With this, I ask you to admit them to all the rights and responsibilities thereof. Majoring in Literature, recipient of the Tan Sing Meng Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Chinese Studies, Althea Tan Ying Xia. Isa Ho. Lin Li Dai Ling. Peyun Cha. Rosario Carmen Gitan Denia. T. Wen Kiat Christopher. Majoring in Philosophy, Abel Ang En Pei. Evangeline Joy Poussin. Ng Saying. Randy Yo Ren Chi. Majoring in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. Recipient of the Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, Joan Danielle Konghun Ongchoko. Recipient of the Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, Stacy Yuen Sin Er. Aaron Kurzak. Elizabeth Susan Tai. Joshua Wong Zi-un. Lai Wenming Theodore. Liam Naeem Rahman. Lim Yi Xuan. Meghna Basu. Rakesh Prabhakaran. Samuel Lam Sinde. Cien de Linus. Sean Tan. Tan Sheng Lei John. Yuen Fang. Majoring in psychology, recipient of the prize for outstanding capstone project in psychology, Goran Adrian Stimna. Adlan Binti Zainal. Carissa Lim Yen Un. Daryl Tan Jin Wen. Felicia Tan Fang Yi. Ho Yan Lin. Kevin Lo Eng Meng. Priscilla Tay. Raiden Leonard Richardson. Su Zijie Daniel. Joashu Un Anthea. Victoria Jane Un Long. Majoring in Urban Studies. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Urban Studies, Timothy Chua Zhizhong. Diamanta Vania Lavi. Elson Ong Yi Xiang. Liang Wei Shan Clarissa. Wien Swan Nguyen Hua. Nicholas Philip Carverhill. Su Hing Shen Rubin. Subhash Govind Prabhakar Nair. Mr. Chancellor, may I present the graduates on whom the Bachelor of Science with honors will be conferred. With this, I ask you to admit them to all the rights and responsibilities thereof. Majoring in Life Sciences, Ang Yu Kai. Gan Sylvia. Soy Sao Yi. Majoring in Mathematical, Computational, and Statistical Sciences. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Mathematical, Computational, and Statistical Sciences, Chua Yao Wei. Anna Evtushenko. Anshuman Mohan. Brian He Huang. Christian Ongo. Dylan Ho Xiansheng. Michael Anthony. Nur Christina Binte Abdul Wahid. Parag Bhatnagar. Sean Saito. Majoring in Physical Sciences. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Physical Sciences. Sorry, the names are all messed up, but Rohan Pautam Naidu. Apologies again. We got 99% of the names right on the screen, but Tiffany Tin Wing, oh sorry, recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Physical Sciences, Tiffany Tin Wing Sin. Our last graduate of today, Chan Li Ting. Mr. Chancellor, may I present the following award winners. Recipient of the Emerging Young Leader Award, Manas Punani. Recipient of the Class of 2017 Award, Benjamin Leong Ji Wei.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I would now like to invite President-designate Professor Tan Tai Yong, who has been appointed as the next president of Yale-NUS College, to deliver his speech. Professor Tan has been active in shaping the academic program of the college from the very beginning and has served as the college's Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs since 2014. Professor Tan, please.
Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam, NUS Chancellor and President of the Republic of Singapore, Mr. Ong Ye Kung, Minister for Education, Higher Education and Skills, and Second Minister for Defense, NUS Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Boat Mata, Chairpersons and members of the NUS Board of Trustees, Yale Corporation, and Yale-NUS Governing Board, graduates, parents, and friends. Today we mark a significant milestone in the history of our young college. We have nurtured a community of learners who are now ready to pursue their dreams beyond our college campus. My heartiest congratulations to the class of 2017. To your family and loved ones, I'm delighted to celebrate with you the achievements of our graduating students, and I thank you for supporting them throughout their journey here. As I watch each of you receiving your diplomas today, I could not help but feel like a proud parent too. I'm confident that your time in the college has not only equipped you with the academic wherewithal to forge ahead in your chosen careers, but that the many activities you participated in during your 4 years here have prepared you well for an active role in your community after you leave the college campus. When I was named President-designate of Yale-NUS College in March this year, I shared my vision of leading this remarkable college in its next phase of development and growth. Since the launch of our college in 2011 and the start of classes for our first cohort of students in 2013, The college has made significant progress in the curriculum, co-curricular programs, and residential life activities that we offer to our students. One of our key advantages is the strong partnership between our founding institutions and the rich knowledge and expertise that Yale University and the National University of Singapore bring to our educational enterprise. To make the college distinctive and strong, the continued involvement and support from Yale and NUS is critical. Hence, constantly building bridges to create more learning opportunities with our parent institutions remains a key priority. Today, I'm pleased to share 2 generous gifts that will enable us to build upon that foundation and strengthen our academic programs. It gives me great pleasure to announce the establishment of the Yale Faculty Visiting Professorship, which will be instrumental in bringing eminent scholars from Yale to teach at Yale-NUS as visiting professors for a semester or 2. This professorship will enable us to continue working with Yale faculty to shape and deliver our distinctive curriculum. We are extremely grateful that Mr. Wong Nyit Leong, former chairman of the NUS Board of Trustees, and Madam Kay Kwok, chairperson of the Yale-NUS Governing Board, have jointly presented a gift to the college to establish this endowed visiting professorship. In addition, we will be establishing the Wong Nyit Leong Professorship in honor of Mr. Wong, who is the chairman and CEO of Venture Corporation. During his tenure as the chairman of NUS Board of Trustees, Mr. Wong raised the university's reputation and played a key role in charting its strategies and goals in the areas of education, research, entrepreneurship, and service. He has led NUS with wisdom and vision through his long and dedicated service as chairman of the board. The Wong Nyit Leong Professorship, which is supported by endowed gifts from members of the NUS Board of Trustees and friends of Mr. Wong, aims to bring distinguished professors from all over the world to teach in our college. We are glad that Mr. Wong is here with us today and grateful that he has agreed to have the professorship established at the college. We assure you, Mr. Wong, that we will be good stewards of this professorship named in your honor. Please join me once again in thanking Mr. Wong Nyit Leong and Madam Kay Kwok for the generosity. To our class of 2017, your journey after college will be very exciting. You will enter into the workplace with its rapidly changing demands and requirements. You will work with people not just from different backgrounds, but across different ages, and face rapidly changing circumstances. But you've already started learning to deal with this in college. The empathy and understanding you've gained from living and learning with those from different backgrounds, and the problem-solving skills you have honed from study and play in a diverse community will put you in good stead. But I know you will not just accept change passively. I see in many of you the qualities that will make you future change makers. I look forward to the impact that you will be making within your communities here and across the globe. Please continue to stay in touch with the college and be valued alumni of the college, and I hope that each of you finds fulfillment and joy in all your future pursuits, and I wish you all the very best. Once again, to the Builder class, the class of 2017, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tan. Now we will be hearing from the most important people in this room. The class of 2017 has selected their student speaker, who will now address us on behalf of his class. Let's welcome Mr. Anshuman Mohan, a mathematical, computational, and statistical sciences major. Mr. Mohan, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. To all those who've come to celebrate the class of 2017, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam, President, Republic of Singapore, and NUS Chancellor, Mr. Ong Ye Kung, Minister for Education, and Second Minister for Defense. NUS Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Paul Mutar. Members and chairpersons of the NUS Board of Trustees, the Yale Corporation, and the Yale-NUS Board of Governors. Parents, teachers, and friends, thank you for being here today. We would be nowhere without you. But you're going to have to excuse me for not quite speaking to you. If it helps, I'm here for the same people that you are here for. My dear class of 2017, I have to confess, I'm just a little bit worried. The most wonderful, amazing crowd of people has gathered here to celebrate us. They are the most important people in our lives. They will thump our backs and talk about how we built a school from scratch. They will say that we crash-tested new courses every semester of our 4 years. That we drafted policy, right, informing student governments overnight. That it could not have been easy, and that they are proud. They will lovingly bombard us with platitudes. And that is all fine, 2017. But I worry that their pride and admiration are misplaced. I'm here to tell you why you should not listen to them. Today, it is almost beside the point that we built the school from scratch. We were told 4 years ago that the school would need building, and we said we were up for it. Look, I know pioneer batches don't graduate all that often, and I'm not trying to diminish this landmark occasion, but we knew what we signed up for. This was all part of the deal. What really matters today is something they are actually not equipped to talk about, which is how we built this school, how we stitched it through with our own color, and what colors we chose. While most people here are trying to admire our finished tapestry, I'd like to revisit some threads of memory. Like when Daniel Silverman pushed for a student government composed of people who would win their spots via feats of courage and valor. He wanted to call it the Silverman Games, remember? It was a ridiculous idea. We should have chuckled and tossed it aside. But it was year one. Nothing really mattered. We said, hey, and we gave several of the administrators here some sleepless nights. The biggest event we hosted as a class in 2013 was a gala dinner to say thank you to the construction workers who are building our campus next door. I spoke to some of them later. They weren't touched because we sang and danced for them. They were touched because in all their years of construction, they'd never actually spoken to or received a smile from the people who had gone to live in the towers that they were building. There's a professor at Yale called Marvin Chun. And for a reason we cannot quite explain, we routinely shower him with more love than he or we can understand. There are dining hall staff at his Berkeley College who maybe still play with the basketball that we gifted them as we left and said goodbye. There are security guards at RC4 who maybe remember chasing down a caravan of kids who rolled into U-Town one night, riding their office chairs, holding hands. The administration may have accounted for our audacity, quirkiness, and defiance. What they did not account for was a school with an annual durian festival and a cappella groups that sometimes sing in the stairwells, with a signature dish of the student canteen is a plate of instant noodles with a burger patty and a fried egg, named in honor of its creator, the Admiral. Where the posters in the lifts are provocative. And where the Chukball team, I mean, what is Chukball anyway? It's some random sport that no one quite knows the rules for, which John Tan taught everyone in freshman year, and we haven't beaten that since. And my point is the Chukball team is way too intense and takes itself way too seriously. And my larger point is that no one can account for things like this. We didn't build this school to anyone's order. Like, oh wait, I'll take a new college here, please and thanks. We built it our way. Omakase. People will tell us this week that we're about to enter the real world. I really hate that term, real world. It suggests that this, right here, is in some way less than real. The last 4 years have been the most real of my life. And that is only because you, my dear friends, you said to me that it was okay. It was okay, for example, to paint myself blue and barge into Lit Hume lecture to music with choreography twice. Evangeline, she does her own thing for the most part. But once a year, she comes out and hosts an 11-hour-long Lord of the Rings movie marathon. There's always breakfast and second breakfast and 11s, and you bet it's always director's cut. Maybe Yale-NUS is not the real world. Maybe we run somewhat in parallel. But this community is amazing because we accept, enable, and stimulate each other. Because for every wild idea one of us has, she can count on 3 good friends who will drop everything, stay up nights, making the idea go through, baking elvish bread if it really comes down to it. In a CSI lecture in freshman year, Prof. Barney Bates said, "We need not be what we fear we must be." I'll say it again, I think it's beautiful. We need not be what we fear we must be. I'd like for us to remember that, 2017. Because I think that the outside world is just as real as life during college, with the exception that our audacity will go a little less magnified, our quirkiness just a little more discouraged, our defiance just a little further suppressed. I don't actually know how many of us were at Barney's lecture. This was freshman year. We were still trying to figure out this balance between sleep and breakfast and the first class of the day. But it's as if by some secret relay, we all took his words to heart, lived them through in our 4 years. It'll make me happy if we take some of that Yale-NUS with us, if we draw on it, when occasionally we need a little affirmative nod saying, yes, do it. That is a totally appropriate amount of crazy. I hear David will be wearing suits and going into consulting. Maybe on his first day, he will bring in a spool of fishing line and spend lunch break making a little nest above his cubicle with fairy lights and moving parts. They're saying Li Ting will go study in China and the US. Maybe one day she'll go in with her violin and her dark sunglasses. And assert total dominance over all her classmates. I worry that in leaving Yale-NUS, we will become what we fear we must. Look, I don't think Barney was plying us with the old hackneyed phrase of, oh, be yourself, and I shall not either. We are ourselves now. We will change substantially. And the question is, will we still be ourselves years from today? I don't think Barney was asking us to not be afraid. Not one of us has graduated college before. And the outside world, while no more real, is a lot more scary. So what do we do? How do we grow and embrace change, but not disregard the people we are today? If I knew the answer, I'd tell you. But I don't know. I cannot know. The people behind you, in front of me, they know us best of all, and they can't help us either. You see, just like new colleges, new lives cannot be, should not be prescribed. But lucky for you and I, we do well when we're not listening. So if you go out there and it's hard, and you feel that you're becoming what you fear you must, look back at how we built this school. Listen as the class of 2017 gets behind you and in unison says, yes, do it. Whatever it is, it's a totally appropriate amount of crazy. Because you are a totally appropriate amount of crazy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. Class of 2017, as we come to the end of today's ceremony, we would like to extend our heartiest congratulations to you on all your achievements throughout your time at Yale-NUS College. You were our inaugural batch of students, and you are now the first members of the Yale-NUS College alumni. We look forward to staying connected with you and cannot wait to witness the many accomplishments you will go on to achieve. Go Kingfishers!
I declare this ceremony closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. Thank you for joining us on this special occasion. Dear guests, please enjoy the tea reception that has been set up at the foyer. Class of 2017 students, please join us for a class photo at the courtyard at 4:20 p.m. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2017. Please remain standing as the ceremonial procession takes its leave.